Yeah. Now, the Irish Independent has that story from Skerries in County Dublin. As it happens, the sports clubs have shut their doors because of concerns locally about a face-licking video. And it turns out the background to this is 30 young people hired a bus to go to Dublin City for a fake Debs, because the Debs are not happening. 6 of them tested positive a week later, and some of those worked in local restaurants and the golf club, and some were GAA players, hence the shutdown. What does this teach us?
I suppose that obviously the majority of people aren't acting in that manner. I think it just shows that given the right set of circumstances, this virus remains very transmissible, and we all really need to reduce the number of contacts that we have in order to allow us to continue to do as much as possible from a previous normal perspective, if you like, in the context of going back to school, going back to work, being able to socialise. But the thing is, if we don't implement the public health measures that everybody's very familiar with now in the context of distancing, of hand hygiene, of face coverings, then if the virus gets an opportunity, it can spread very, very quickly. And obviously we have seen that with large outbreaks in recent weeks, and then the large number of outbreaks within the household setting. So it's obviously, I suppose, disappointing behaviour to see, but it's not representative.
It shows maybe
of what
the public
majority.
health messages are not getting through to that particular cohort. I mean, I see all the time when I'm out and about wearing a mask, walking the dog, whatever, lots of young people very close together, multiple units, not just 3 units. Now, maybe they're with each other all day in school and so on, so they feel as if they're going to get it, they're going to get it. But it does seem to me that the public health messages simply aren't reaching a particular cohort.
That's possible, but I think the HSE and the department have done a huge amount in the last couple of weeks to rectify that and ensure that the younger generation is receiving the message, and the communication around that has changed. I think as of yesterday's figures, I think 75% were under the age of 45, and we're certainly seeing that trend over the last number of weeks. And I think with the department certainly is very cognizant of that younger age group, and it's important that thankfully the majority of them won't have severe illness, but obviously the concern is that the more virus we have circulating in the community in any population or in any cohort increases the risk of it drifting and bleeding into that vulnerable group and the older age group, which suffered so badly and so significantly in the early part of the outbreak. But as I do take your point, I think notwithstanding the communications message, I suppose there will always be, a small number of individuals that will disregard the message no matter how clear it is.